guys, it's Megan, and today I'm going to share with you something that really just has been on my mind lately and something that I really wanted to share with you guys. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you will know that just about 6 months ago I got my heart broken and my boyfriend at the time broke up with me. And we had been dating for 1.5 years and it was so unexpected to me. Like, literally, like, the most shocking thing I think that's ever happened to me, because I felt so sure of my relationship and of our partnership, but he didn't feel the same way. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes you're not on the same page. Even if like you feel one way, that doesn't mean the other person feels that same way. So it was really shocking is probably the best word. Like, it was really devastating, but more so it was shocking because I realized how disjointed we really were when I thought that we were really on the same page. And there's so many things that go into that, and I've thought about every single scenario. But what I wanted to talk about with you guys today is how I am 6 months after heartbreak. And since I shared getting broken up with you guys 6 months ago, quite a few of you have come to me saying that you're in a similar situation, or you like were totally unexpectedly broken up with, or your relationship ended for whatever reason. And I feel like this is something that is really important to talk about, how the healing process works for people. And it's definitely still something I think about, like, wow, like, I can't believe it still, 6 months later, but it's not something that brings me a lot of sadness anymore. Like, I feel like I'm definitely on a really good path to healing, and of course it still like hurts a little bit when you like reflect back on why they broke up with you, and that can be really like emotionally challenging to be like, oh man, like, is it something I did? Is it something I didn't do? But you really can't even think about that because it's the past. It was their decision if they're the one that ended the relationship, and it just is what it is. Like, you just have to keep moving forward and you can't dwell on it. So that would be like my number one advice. And I know everyone is so different. We've all dated people for different amounts of time, and so take my advice with a grain of salt, but this is what I have experienced and how I feel right now. And I honestly feel great. I feel like this was something that needed to happen. It was when I realized why he ended the relationship, it was something that would have happened whether it was then or years from then. Like, it would have happened no matter what. And so I'm just thankful that it happened when it did, because I would have been even more devastated the longer that we would have been together. So I definitely feel like it is one of those things that I'm very thankful that happened, because it taught me so much about what I want in a partner and what I want for my future. And your future always rests on yourself. Like, you can make your life exactly what you want. And I got a mug for my coffee made that has a quote that I absolutely love, and it says, "She designed a life she loved." And that is one of my favorite quotes ever. Like, just thinking about it makes me emotional. Like, you have the power to make your life anything you want it to be. If you want to volunteer in a different country, you can do that. If you want to be a CEO, you can work your way up to that. Like, you can do anything you want. You want to be a homeowner, you can save for that. Like, you can literally do anything. You want a child but you don't have a partner, you can adopt, or you can have a child in a different way. Like, there are just so many options available to us, and we don't always need to rely on someone else to make those dreams happen. So I just love that quote. And something that was really hard for me after this relationship ended was I was really in the midst of applying for jobs. And you guys know, if you've been watching my videos, I got a new job like very soon after my relationship ended. I started my new job exactly 2 months after I got dumped. So it was so many changes all at once, like sad ones, like getting broken up with, quitting my job, starting a new job is obviously amazing, but it's all very stressful and just takes a lot of emotional energy. So it was a lot all at once, but the job that I have now fulfills me so much more than my previous job. And I just never would have applied to this job because I was looking for jobs in the area that my previous boyfriend worked. So it was those little things that, like, that job opening happened so soon after getting broken up with that it was like destiny. Like, I really believe that all of this fell into place perfectly, just the way it was supposed to. And I'm just so thankful that I got broken up with, like, literally, you guys. It's so weird to say that, and so many people, like, after I've explained, like, why it happened and how it happened and everything, they were like, wow, like, you should be thankful that, like, it happened. And I'm like, I know, I am. I'm so thankful. And not to say that I regret the relationship. I look back on our relationship in such a positive way, and that's something I really wanted to touch on. Is, you guys know I did so many things with my ex. Like, we went on vacations, we went to concerts, we saw Broadway plays, we did so much together, and all of those memories are so precious to me. And it's not because of him, it's because of the experiences. And I'm going to Las Vegas next year with my mom, and I went for the first time with him, and I might have thought, oh, I don't want to go to Las Vegas because it reminds me of him. But it doesn't. It reminds me of the experience that I had there. And he just happened to be there with me. Like, it's all about perspective, I feel. And it always goes with being older. Like, I feel like if this would have happened when I was younger, it would be a totally different story. But now that I'm in my mid-upper 20s, 26, you guys, oh my God. It's just so different the way that I think about things. And I try to be a really positive person, and you guys just, like, oh my God, you guys make me feel so amazing when you message me and say that, like, my positive energy has inspired you or makes you feel better when you watch my videos, and that means more to me than literally anything. Like, I don't care about this makeup, I don't care about the skincare, I don't care about any of this, but I care about how I make you feel. And that is something that, when I think about what do I want to leave behind, like, on this earth, I want people to be more positive because of me. And I think about that, like, all the time. I'm like, what do I want out of life? And that's what I want. I want to leave a positive impact on people. So yeah, you guys just make me feel so amazing when you tell me that. And I just feel like we all have something really special to share with people, and I'm thankful that I have this platform to share that with you guys, because it is something that I really cherish about myself, is my positive outlook, and how even in, like, this situation where it was literally heartbroken into two, devastation, I just had to persevere, and I had to be positive, because I can't just sit at home crying every day. And I did cry a lot at the beginning, and even, I think it was like 2 months ago, I was listening to Taylor Swift. I was preparing for her concert, and I was listening to her 1989 album, and the song You Are in Love came on, and I just started bawling. I was driving to work, and I was just bawling and bawling, and sometimes it just hits you, and I feel like you just have to release that, like, emotion. Even if you don't want to cry, just let it out, because you'll feel better. And even since then, I've listened to that song, and I don't have that same reaction anymore. So it's like, that first time that I heard it, it was like, like, it just hit me in such a way that was so powerful. And that was months after the heartbreak happened. So it's definitely something that takes a lot of time to heal, and I have not been dating at all. I haven't honestly even considered it, because I just have too much going on. Like, at work, I am so busy. I know that's, like, an excuse, but I also don't feel, like, emotionally ready. But I just don't have it in me yet to start dating. So And I think that's fine. I know that some people like really want to get back out there and stuff. That's not really where I'm at. And, you know, one day I will feel ready and I'll know when I feel ready. And so that's something that kind of has been challenging for me. It's like, when will I know that I'm ready, or how will I know? But it's like, I will know. And I still rant about the situation. I rant to my parents, I rant to my friends. Like, if something reminds me of it and I just need to like let it out, I just rant and I let it out and I feel so much better. But lately I've been, what like sparked all this is I've been watching some of my older videos. I love to go back and watch myself, because the main reason I make these videos is to document it for myself and like my vlogs. I just like to look back and see what I was up to. And so I've been watching my vlogs like from when we were dating and on, like not particularly looking for ones with him, but of course I mentioned him every now and then, and I don't feel like upset when I hear about him. I don't want to see him, so I haven't been watching those, but I don't feel like sadness or like anger when I watch myself talk about him, obviously in a more positive way. And then when I've watched ones like right after the breakup, like I feel so sad for myself because I was so heartbroken and so sad, and I was just trying to like cope with it and trying to rationalize it, even though like it didn't make sense to me at all. But it has taught me that I'm very sure of what I want for my life and what I want in a partner. And just because a previous partner wasn't what I thought, that doesn't mean it was like a waste of a relationship, because it helped me grow so much. It had me experience all those things that I probably wouldn't have experienced. Like after this, I'm gonna film a video on all the concerts that I've been to since 2016. And it is a shitload because we would go to concerts all the time. And I look back at every single one of those concerts so thankful that we were together during that time, because I got to see so many people that I wouldn't have went out of my way to see otherwise. So it really is about perspective, and it really is about like appreciating the person for what they taught you. Like maybe they're not who you thought they were, but they taught you a lot about your life and what you want for your future. And I feel like I am even more sure about what I want, because I knew what I wanted back then when we were dating, but it just like solidifies that I do want these certain things and I need to try harder, and I feel like press people to see if they want those same things, because a lot of the time I notice that people are kind of like fake about stuff, and they will like be agreeable, but they don't really want that. And I want to find someone that really truly wants the same things as me and isn't compromising their own wants. Like I want to be on the same page as my partner, and that might take a long time to find someone like that, but maybe not. And so it's just about keeping my eyes open, keeping my options open, and just realizing that there is someone better for me out there. And maybe I will go through this again. I hope not, because I hate being heartbroken, but I never expected to be in this situation again. Like I had another serious boyfriend, went through this, and then when I met my now ex, I thought that this was like the end, like this was the end of the heartbreak. But sometimes shit just goes crazy and things don't work out the way that you thought, and that's okay. It means that there are better things and new opportunities out there for you. Like I said, the job thing is probably the biggest lesson that I could ever have just randomly taught myself, because I would not have applied for this job that is literally perfect for me at my stage of my career. I wouldn't have applied for it because of where it is, because it wasn't close to him. And I need to remember to put my hopes and dreams before someone else's, even if we are in a partnership. Like we weren't married, we weren't like, a real like partnership. We were both like living our lives and trying to figure things out in this really like crazy time of our lives. Like our 20s, I feel like you do and learn and change, and it is just a roller coaster in your 20s, at least from what I've experienced and what my friends have experienced. And you just never know. So if you think that something feels right, you should go for it. You shouldn't be like, no, because you're holding out for someone else. Like, that is the biggest takeaway that I could teach you guys, is don't put all of your future resting on someone else's shoulders. Like, don't allow them to be like the captain of your ship. Like, you have to steer your ship in the direction that you want, and sometimes your ships will go different ways, and that's not a bad thing. Sometimes you can make it work if you both like really want it to happen, but sometimes it doesn't, and that is not a bad thing. Like, you shouldn't hold on to something just because you're scared. And we are all scared a lot, and I feel like not a lot of people like talk about being scared or nervous, and like with jobs and relationships and children and all these things that are such big deals. I feel so scared about all of that stuff, but you have to like trust yourself, and you have to believe that you will find the path for you. And whether you believe in God or you believe in yourself, like whatever you believe in, just use that as your driving force to know that it will work out. Like, you will get to where you belong, and you hopefully will have great experiences along the way. Like, my life is not perfect. My life is far from perfect. I don't know anyone's life that's perfect, but your perspective on life is what matters, and what makes your life, what makes you think that your life is great or makes you think that your life is shit. Like, everyone has shitty experiences, but I don't think my life is shitty because shitty things have happened to me. Like, I think my life is amazing, and I thank God every single night for every single day, even if it was like a stupid, terrible day. But it's just all, to me, it's all about perspective on the situation. And while it is still something that it makes me sad, like that someone didn't want to be with me, but I know I want to be with myself, and I know someone will want to be with me and appreciate me for exactly who I am, and I won't compromise for anyone. So that is how I'm feeling 6 months later. I feel like I'm more emotional talking about like self, like confidence and stuff, than I am about the relationship. Like, I really feel strongly about forging your own path and trusting your gut. Your gut is always right. Like, just how your mom is always right, your gut is always right. Like, it's just one of those weird things that if something feels right, go for it. If something feels wrong, don't do it. Like, avoid it. But relationships are tricky. Relationships are crazy. And I don't regret any relationship or any moment in my past, because it's brought me to where I am today. And I'm just so thankful for the person I am sitting here before you right now, because I know that I will change so much in the next week, let alone the next years. And I know that the right person who will compliment me is out there. Like, will compliment my personality and will, I don't know, I just have like this vision of my future, and no matter how long it takes to get to that, and no matter how much it might change in the future, like, your plans, I heard this great quote, and it is by Dwight D. Eisenhower. The quote is, "In preparing for battle, I have always found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable." And I feel like if you have such a strict plan for your future, like if you have like 2-year goals, 5-year goals, 10-year goals, like goals are good, but if your plans are so rigid that you can't do anything else outside of those plans, that's bad. Like, planning is good to be like, I want to achieve these things and I want to hope for these things, but you have to like go with the punches. And allow your plans to be flexible. Like, I've learned to be more flexible. Like, this relationship taught me to be so flexible because there were so many things that I would never have done, like in terms of like social activities. I would never have done certain things like if it were up to me, but being pushed to do it, it taught me that I love those things and that I shouldn't just be like, this is the way I am and only think of myself in a certain box. Like, no, you are so much more than you think. Like, just because you're scared to do something doesn't mean you shouldn't do it and doesn't mean you can't do it. Like, my Instagram bio quote says, be afraid, but do it anyway. And that is a quote I live by because I'm afraid a lot of the time. I have anxiety about so many things, especially social situations, but when I do them, I am so happy and I feel so thankful that I did those things, even though like thinking about those things totally terrified me, or like I would never have done it if I thought about it because I would have talked myself out of it. But it is just so important to not be so rigid about your life and not think, I thought that I was gonna marry this person or be with this person forever and that didn't happen and so my life is over. Like, it's not. You have so much left to offer the world. There is so much that the world has to offer you, and you have to be open and willing to accept those experiences and not like shun them away. And my sister, oh my God, this will make me cry. She had to write a speech in one of her classes about someone she admires, and she wrote about me, and and just that in itself was like the biggest compliment she could give me or anyone could give me. But she wrote about how I went to the Overwatch grand finals. I took her to see that, and I don't know a single thing about video games and I've never played Overwatch in my life, but I went and I had just as much fun as anyone that loves Overwatch. And she talked about how and in her speech she talked about how my like openness and willingness to do things that I don't even like have a special connection to, like Overwatch, but I have a special connection to Rachel or my friends or my partner. And I want to do those things and experience those things with them because it makes them happy and that makes me happy. And just being somewhere and experiencing something just fills me with so much happiness. Like, I feel I honestly feel sad for people when they don't do things outside of what they think they like, because you're missing out on so many experiences. And I feel like we have such a limited time in our bodies on this earth that you should try to experience everything you possibly can. And I don't know, it's mind-blowing to me when people don't do things because they think they don't like them and they've never even tried them. Like, it is mind-blowing to me. I don't have any other words to describe it, but I am just thankful that I am this way, and I don't know like how I became this way, but I always have been. And it is partly because I'm a people pleaser and I like to do things for others, but it's also because I love to experience things and I love to experience as much as possible. Like, I will pretty much, if you invite me to something, I'll pretty much go to anything. Like, even if it's not my thing, I just love to go to things that people enjoy, and being around people that are just so happy to be there because it's their thing. That energy, I just feed off of it, and it just radiates from people when they're so excited about something. And I don't know how you could be somewhere and not feel that energy and not feel excited, just as excited as they are, even if you don't care as much about that topic or whatever the event is. Like, I don't know. I think I'm just a weirdo, but I'm so happy that I'm this way. And the one last thing I wanted to mention about this, like 6 months after heartbreak, is that I have so much more time to do different things, and I have so much more flexibility now, because when we were dating, literally we had plans like 2 months in advance. Like, we were always booked on weekends because we were long distance, and so we always had plans. We never could just do anything like spontaneously, or very rarely we could. And now it's like, if someone asks me to do something, I can actually do it if I want to, or I can just sit at home and do nothing. Like, it's amazing to have the time and flexibility that I didn't have for a year and a half. To have that back has been so valuable and so incredible, and I think it's allowed me to heal, and it's allowed me to process things in my own time. Like, I don't want to be like trying to fill my mind with so many distractions that I don't heal, because if you just distract yourself, you'll never heal. You'll never feel better because you haven't even confronted your feelings. And I feel like you need to confront those feelings, even though it's hard and it's scary and it sucks to feel those things. You just need to feel it, let it out, and you will be able to heal. So this was a lot in this video, more tears than I expected, and not even about the heartbreak, but about other things. And even if I did want to cry about the heartbreak, I would allow myself to do that, because why wouldn't I? Like, why would I, like, keep it inside? Like, you need to let it out. You shouldn't, like, suppress all those feelings, because they will come out one day, and they will come out exploding if you keep suppressing them. So just let them out. Feel everything you need to feel, and I know that you will feel better very, very, very soon, even if it doesn't feel like it. Like, literally, those first few weeks was like, oh my god, this is going to be horrible, all this stuff, but it honestly is fine, and I'm thankful for the relationship, but I'm also thankful that it ended, because it has just opened so many doors for me and reminded me about what I truly want and what I truly deserve out of a partner. So thank you for watching. If you're going through this, I'm so sorry, and just know that I'm here for you if you need to talk. So you can message me on Instagram at any time, and I will give you an internet hug, because sometimes you just need to talk to someone outside of the situation. I totally understand that. So thank you guys so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you really soon. Bye.